It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas. And we have wonderful guests. And we have a guest that many people ask for. And so I'm going to bring him on, Mr. Drake Bailey. And I didn't put out a time because we don't like to give them a heads up when we're going to be on, because then we seem to have more problems. So that's what that's all about. So watch for that thumbnail. That may be a good way to figure it out. Hi, Drake. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
This thumbnail? Yeah, this thumbnail, no. Oh, I haven't got the thing up there.
It seems kind of dark, don't it? There we go. That's better. Now they can tell I'm human.
Yeah, I'm looking for... Where's my overlay? There it is.
You talking about the little thumbs up thing, my Bobby?
Yes.
Okay.
People love to hear
I'm
about
curious,
it.
which is,
It seems to be the topic of the day, because today, I believe in Washington, D.C., unless it just finished, but they were doing presentations on UFOs and all that, and ETs and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, go for it. Yeah.
I have offered some of the scientific community my presentation on how the shit works, and I haven't had any takers. So I'll let them all be in the dark. The ET will show them the way.
Well, wouldn't it be a perfect time for ET to land right in Washington, D.C.?
Why not? It'll be later this fall at the earliest. Bear that in mind.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. But anyway, go ahead. You had some intel or information that you wanted to share. So
you keep putting those things in your in the Skype chat where I can get a hold of a message from Timbuktu Land that ET puts out, and I went back and double checked, got the dates and everything. It's all this month. The first one was on the 11th. It's a healing transmission of energy.
Would that be 432? Would that be 432 by any chance?
I have no idea what it is. Okay. I doubt that it's that limited. Okay.
Okay. That's a pretty healing frequency. I don't know.
Basically a healing transmission. Then we got one on Tuesday, which is supposed to be more healing of varying kinds. Now, we've got about 6, 8, 10 different places and ways humanity needs healed. And that's what that's supposed to cover. Then on the 18th, that's a Sunday, we have a direction and guidance informational energy coming through. People that are sensitive, they can almost hear this stuff. Okay. So then on the 21st, it says harmony, meaning that blacks and whites won't worry about offending each other and playing stupidity. But those are dates that everybody should look forward to. I mean, they're pretty neat, I think, in their intent and purpose. And this comes by way of the Galactic Federation, so they're pretty cool. Now, one thing I did do, and it's this is up to you. You want me to do this now? My show Saturday. Uh, what is security?
What was that?
It's just, it's BS. Okay, so what? Good grief. I don't need notifications in the middle of a show. Anyway, on Saturday the 10th, I did a show entitled "People Need to Take Action." Now, a lot of
Yes.
people have screwed up and taken the wrong kind of action, and some of them are sitting in jail because nobody has come to their defense, which could be a righteous put down of the system we've got that's broken. So, what I decided to do, one person emailed you, I think it was, and he wanted to know what we was getting into. I have tried to contact these people and haven't had much success. Anyway, people need to take action. This is directed at the individuals who believe they can ignore or even write their own law. I'm not, and that's the nice part. In order to be legal, only the individuals are to be removed, and that's specific individuals, and that's the ones that ignore, don't take care of business. The extraction squads, they will be trained. I'll make sure they're trained properly, informed of the laws, etc. Need to be armed in the case of absolute resistance. Some of these people you're gonna have to shoot them. That's just all there is to it. They're so ingrained that they're going to want to stay. Now, these are people in our government, positions of authority, etc. The Secret Service will be notified of the scope of the action and will be requested to stand down. In other words, don't get involved. Stand out of the way. Because some of these people really, they're going to screech. Can you imagine the screechiness that would come about if you grabbed Schumer by the ankles and drug him down the floor out of his office? Ooh, you did. That'd echo all the way. My. Anyway, documentation of the people's actions will be provided to those who to be removed, and any security. That means the private security and the Secret Service, people of that nature, will be notified. Capitol Police, whoever it is that might be there. Let's see here. None of these actions will be directed at the structure of our government. Now, I'm going to repeat that one. None of these actions will be directed at the structure of our government. I don't think that there's that much wrong with the government. I think it's the dinglebats that we got in the offices. Therefore, that's the way this is directed. Now, the personnel involved will have immunity, try this, and be protected under whistleblower laws as well. Now, the guy asked me what I'm getting involved in. Well, it depends on your capabilities. If you're a leader, you're going to end up with a squad or bigger group of people that will be tasked with straightening out the mess that Washington started. In short, you're going to be the laundry man. Whether you Chinese or what, it makes no difference. We're going to dump them in the washer, turn it on spin cycle, and see who pops out. That's basic. That's very basically what's going on. Now, I've got.
Is this being organized? I guess I missed that in the beginning when you started
I'm
talking about.
the one that's organizing so far.
Okay, and
I'm the only one. I'm the only one with the guts and the kahunas to put something like that out. That's public. That went public on Blog Talk Radio. So,
okay.
and now it's gone public again on this. And I will say this again. It cannot be an act of insurrection for the simple fact that it does not go against the structure of the government.
It's against the people in positions that have abused their positions.
Or haven't used their positions, refuse to do their job, or whatever their problem is, doesn't matter.
For themselves and nobody else, yeah.
Yeah. Now, excuse me.
You might need a drink of water.
No, I just coughed at a dead animal. That's no big deal.
Okay.
I'll have legal papers if these people want to get involved. I have legal papers and all that to help them understand what's going on, give them a legal basis for what we're doing, etc. Now, this is all under constitutional law. Think about that very carefully. It's listed. All of this is listed in the Constitution. Any job that any official refuses to do in the government or other places of what they call equitable trust can be held to the same standard of being removed. Kicking and screaming and dragging them down the hallway by their ankles is fine. I'd like to hear some of them scream anyway.
Very careful what we say.
Well,
They're just not doing their job.
Period. It's just general principles. Well, yeah, but they don't have to make it nasty for everybody else just because they're in a position of power doesn't give them that right. Anyway, so all of the rights in the Bill of Rights and all of the moralities that you found back in the 1950s are going to be implemented whether anybody likes it or not. Just that simple. There is approximately, let's see, 50 or 60,000 right here close that I can get in touch with. And that's militia people. Those are the people primarily that were going to be doing this. The people that want to be involved, if you're ex-military, present or current military, police, etc., and you want to join in, that's fine. But realize that this is going to be set by the people, not by the government, because the people that are going to be setting this, screwing things up even worse, are the ones that are already in there that we want to get rid of. That's something like right now it runs between, depending on the department and who it is, that runs anywhere from the lowest ones I can think of is 40%, and the rest of them run up to like 90, and in some cases 100%. This includes the FBI, CIA, all of them. Bye-bye.
It doesn't matter if they're cloned or masked or any of that either, does it?
No. Now, if they're cloned, we have ET is going to supply me with a device to tell whether or not somebody is a clone. This little thing, the little thing goes beep, 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 and the little needle goes back and forth and all that. Anyway, and that person, if you point it at somebody and it does that, they're a clone. Meaning, that does not mean that they don't have any rights, that they don't exist as real humans and a few other things. ET has said that we have a right to dispose of them as we see fit if we wish. Now, if you got a clone of someone and it's not subject to the nastiness, say, that person provided the world with before, that it's nice and reasonable and wants to help and all that, I would be willing to take them and put them in a position. Now, that doesn't mean they'd be in charge of anything but themselves. And everybody that gets one of these needs to watch them real close. Make sure they don't do anything funky. and go from there. If the clones can help, fine. Now I heard just recently, see, a few days ago, ah, Jay Thought got a thing in here.
That
All
all
these
these
dates coming up, I hope.
Nah, I don't know what NAH means. No, not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
People are very leery of dates nowadays because of the past when, so many different
well,
people, a lot of different people have given dates and the dates never
yeah,
seem to
those
turn
ain't
out.
my dates. I'll tell you now, it ain't my dates. Those come from ET. It's supposed to be a part of the crew, or whatever you want to call it, that facilitate and help with the transition.
And it's the Galactic Federation, did you say?
I think that's where the authorization to release that info came from. Whether it's the Galactic Federation itself that is literally releasing it, I don't know. Take a guess. Could be, might not be. We may never know.
I'd like to mention while we're talking here that if people wanted to go to today to Freedom Range on YouTube, I do have that channel open if you wanted to ask questions there. However, for the uncensored channels, which are the best, that would be D Live, which Jay Thought just came from, as well as Twitch. And I put these up before, and I guess I can put them up.
Go ahead and put. Sometimes you got to beat somebody over the head. Don't you remember your mathematics when you was in grade school? 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 2, and they just kept it up until you said, "Please, no more."
There's that one, and that's the one from D Live.
Can you put that? Can you put that in the chat?
Yeah, I guess I can.
You did last time.
Yeah. I just got to do a couple little extra things to do that, but that's okay. Okay, chat. So here's the D Live, which Jay Thought actually.
Where? I don't see it.
There it is.
There it is.
Now let me find one other one. And that is Twitch. And that is one I will put in the chat as well. And were you done with the information that you had? Rick? Oh my goodness, you're having a hard time today.
The grass and pine trees and stuff have been putting out a lot of spores, and they put so much of it out between that and the smoke. I started coughing.
Oh, are you getting any of that smoke?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
We got some here. Now, the nice thing about all this is that it's rained a couple of days.
That helps.
Yeah, clears the air. You got one more? What about the YouTube channel? Stick it in there or not?
Oh, well, what I'll do with the reach, if they just look up Freedom Range, that's all they have to do is.
Okay, can you repeat the dates, please? Yeah. We already passed one, seeing as how this would be the 12th. The 11th is supposed to be in healing. 13th, more healing of a more complex kind. Okay. And the 18th, that's all this month now, direction and guidance as to what's going on, how humanity ought to be acting, and might even give ET's email address. I don't know. And the 21st, harmony. So everybody ain't mad at everybody anymore.
Is that going to come as a result of the frequency healings that they're going to be?
Well, that's
giving?
what these are. These are a combination of that plus psychic awareness that allows you to assimilate information they are putting out via and I'll quote this loosely, they go and broadcast into your brain.
Who is going to broadcast into our brain?
ET, the people sending the message.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't hear that. I was reading this thing. Somebody said that they were getting a lot of echo. So I
unmuted my mic. Oh, that's nice.
I muted. No.
I thought I was already unmuted.
You're unmuted.
Well, it's not muted. I don't worry about it. Channel audio out, so we will get.
No, I said. Wait a minute. Why did this go? Oh, that's what I was trying to. It says, please put one of your channels audio out so we will get rid of the echo. Oh, that reminds me. I always forget to.
Echo.
Yeah. Hang on, guys. I got to fix this too because I was supposed to run this on Telegram. Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
Let's see if that doesn't help a little bit.
Excuse me.
Somebody said thanks.
I don't understand how to fix this. Hang on a minute.
Get rid of the echo. Put one of your channel's audio out. So I don't think it's possible.
Can you? Oh, for pity's sake. Hang on a second. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. I just muted my mic while I was coughing up a dead animal.
Can you hear me, Drake?
Yeah, I hear you. Do you hear me?
Can you still hear me now?
Huh?
I can't hear you. Okay.
Can you
the
hear
reason
me now?
I was asking.
Huh?
Here, I have to.
Okay.
I'm trying to run this on. I can't do it. I can't figure out how to do I was going to run it on Telegram, and you have to turn off the sound because it interferes. See, why am I hearing that now? Hang on, guys. I'm sorry about this. I'm trying to fix something. And
comment on the recent Las Vegas ET sighting in a guy's backyard. Yeah, I'll comment on it. There's a reason with it ET picks out a spot. That could be a whole bunch of different things, but it is either a combination of an interest in the area or they're picking out a landing site. One of the two. Think about that.
Yeah, you just commented on that, correct?
Yeah, I just got that one just now.
Okay, now somebody said audio's okay. Thank you. I was having trouble with that. That's what they always seem to. It always seems to get messed with is the audio. So now there are a couple people on the YouTube channel, at least.
Well, that's good.
Freedom Range. So if anyone else has any questions, please feel free to think of them. One of the things, I came across a statement that I'd like to read. I think it's really good for people. It's
okay.
I think you'll like it. It says, "Be strong enough to stand alone. Be yourself enough to stand apart. And when the time comes, be wise enough to stand together."
Yeah.
And that's what we have to do now. We need to stand together to bring about changes.
I just hope they take a shower first. But standing together can get personal if they don't smell good. Jack is asking a question.
Here's one for you. Getting ready for Project Bluebeam?
Beam?
Beam. Well,
Oh,
I think they meant beam.
I don't have no blue beans. I don't know about that. Project Bluebeam is horse hockey. Anybody with any brains can look at it and tell us that it's bogus.
I need you to turn your sound up a little bit, Drake. I can barely hear you.
What do you want it up about like that? Is that better?
Oh, I can't even tell the difference, but I'll figure it out. Maybe it's mine.
Well, it ain't me.
Oh, there it is. That was me. Okay. I had to turn my own. Yeah. Well, I turned it down because we had that when I turned on Telegram, because I wanted to run the live show on Telegram, somehow I have to turn off the sound coming from Telegram, and I couldn't figure out how to do it fast enough, and it was interfering with everything. So, moving right along.
So your technician is slipping. Okay.
Did you comment about the... Here, let me read them, please, Drake.
Well, I didn't know what that... Okay. Read them.
I'll read it and you answer it. Okay. It just works better that way. Where are the ETs that are helping from? Where are they from? What ETs are helping?
Okay. As soon as I ask that question, we'll give you an answer. I'll let you deal with it in terms of the answer. There are over 2,500 races at any given point, any given time, represented upstairs. Any of these
so you don't know which one.
Any of these entities can put the information out. So they're Pleiadians, you name it. There's almost no limit, and the reason is that we are the keystone planet of this galaxy. And this galaxy is reliant on the keystone planet being healthy, being right, and all that. This is why we are setting the things up to eliminate the problems and the problem people. Just to make sure everybody's all right.
Well, one interesting little tidbit of information. Do you know how many years from the signing of the Declaration of Independence to when it actually was completed, how many years later that was?
Declaration of Independence was locally done. It only took a few months.
Well, it was signed in 1776, but totally implemented. They said it was 1787. I have the facts on that, the historical facts. That's what they said.
It was written a year or two before that. But not much before that, because that was the first thing we did. We give England the finger and told the king to go screw it, to do things, unnatural things to himself. Okay. Then as soon as we got done with that and everybody signed it, I all went to the tavern and got beer and wrote part of the Constitution. And I hope everybody does realize that it was the Indian nations, the big conference that they have, that provided the majority or most of the meat of our Constitution. It was their Constitution as they lived it. They figured we might want to give it a try.
I'm glad you brought that up. They had a lot to do with the post office as well. But what the information that I was saying came from Juanasavan, and I think he's an insider. And he said that the Declaration of Independence was actually signed in 1776. It may have been written before that, like you said, but it was actually signed in 1776. But to the point where we won the war and finally had it done was 1787, which was 11 years later.
Yeah.
So that's where that came from. And he went, and I want to emphasize what he was saying too, because he was going on and saying that we're not just fighting Democrats or Republicans. It's not just right and wrong. It's not just for the soul of America. The whole world is on the line.
The whole world is what?
Is on the line.
I know.
The future of the entire planet is on the line. That's
well,
what I don't think people realize.
If our planet goes, so does the space we occupy as a part of the galaxy, integral part of the galaxy galaxy collapses. Ooh, you don't want that. Uh-oh.
Ooh, wow.
I see some more things of there.
Is cloaking tech a thing, and how can we see through the toxic bullshit BS? I almost said it.
Okay, well, cloaking tech is a thing. It's real. We use a very caveman level of it in our stealth systems. What they do is they take the stealth systems, modify them slightly, energize them correctly, and poof, disappears. Just that simple. It is a combination of light control as well as a mastery of curvature. And that's exactly what cloaking is. We got there's one ship that's huge. It's cloaked, and it's right out in front of everybody right now, and nobody can tell it's there.
I hear there's a lot of ships that aren't being seen. I mean, a lot.
Million. There's several million ships up there right now.
Amazing.
Now, how they keep them bumping into each other, I don't know.
Well, have you heard anything about Lindsey Graham being arrested?
About a who?
Lindsey Graham. Do you remember apparently he was in Ukraine and said to Zelensky that was the best money we ever spent.
Well,
and
if Ukraine keeps winning and beating Russia, I'll agree with that.
He's charged with crimes against America. Are you kidding me? Russia is getting rid of the Nazis in Ukraine. Russia is.
I didn't say that Russia was doing bad stuff.
I thought you did.
But the thing is, you got a situation that is primarily bogus bullshit. Okay. And to make it look good, you make a war out of it, and you go from there. Okay, what I'm saying is, when they're done with the bogus BS, their idea of a cloak is to tell a lie that nobody can believe. But look, they're bombing people and they're shooting at people. There must be a war over there. So, that's what I'm trying to get across. People have to understand Putin's a good guy in this. Ooh, boy.
Well, I am happy that people are starting to find the places where they can ask questions again. That was so much more fun when we could do that.
Well,
so here's one for you.
So ask it.
What? I missed it.
The hell?
Is the Galactic Federation of Light?
Call from Bob Kimberly.
Hold on, I forgot to unplug my phone. Now it don't work. Jesus.
Watch mine will ring because
Okay.
I didn't turn mine off either.
Is the Galactic Federation of Light
and Pleiadians helping us with ascension?
Just not an ascension. The ascension is used biblically and it means something totally different. We are going to go through a transition. And it's going to be so sudden, nobody will notice that it happened until you accidentally find out that your hand will go through a wall or something. Depends on what they decide to, turn your mind loose with. Yes. Galactic Federation of Light, Palladians. There's every group that you've heard of that's worth 10 cents out there assisting, trying to make sure everything goes smooth. Okay.
Okay, here's another one. Tomorrow is a big day with Trump. Any guess? Are they going to try to arrest him? This is another bogus bunch of charges. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's actually sickening to see.
Well, the problem that the legal departments have, that's the Department of Justice, FBI, and all these other special prosecutors included, have is a little thing called equal protection under the law. If they are going to play this game, they're going to have to arrest the president, his son, the Biden family. That take care of it easier.
Hey, all of them.
Yeah, there's, I don't know, some 8 of them all got to say. Anyway,
Millions.
everybody that has done this, Vice President Pence, he had classified and knew it. You don't forget those things. I was involved in it. You know, that's something you don't do. Okay. Hillary Clinton goes to jail if they arrest Trump. So that's the problem they got. Now, if they
the real Hillary Clinton has already been executed. I saw pictures.
It doesn't matter. They take all of her clones and put them behind bars.
Yeah. That's what they've been doing.
Well, anyway, what the deal is that all of the people who have done this sort of funky monkey dance before also get the same results that Trump gets. He gets arrested, so do they. He goes to jail, so do they. And you can't avoid it for the simple fact that if, and this is the fun part, if the dingbat that's in charge of the Department of Justice doesn't do it, he can be held liable for not doing it in his position. Ooh. That includes a lot of FBI. It includes a lot of FBI and et cetera. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, it just seems like a lot of people have been getting away with it. Things that are supposed to happen and nothing happens. That's what it appears to the vast majority of people. That's why I think so many people feel so helpless about it. It doesn't look like anything's happening, even though, I mean, as far as all my research, it is happening. There's a lot happening, but because it doesn't go out on mainstream or whatever, people just don't believe it.
Well, we'll have to wait until tomorrow. Are they going to arrest him? Now you know what happens if they do, because equal protection under the law is in and of itself a part of the basis of some of the Constitution and a lot of our laws. So therefore, we'll see. I don't think they're going to do anything to him other than charge him, like Bragg did. That blowhard fat boy from Chicago or wherever he's at.
New York.
Is it New York?
Yeah, New York.
I didn't know that he merited New York. I thought it was Chicago.
No,
and he was playing gangster. And he was playing gangster.
Somebody must be listening because we're getting echo again.
Again? Oh my! I'll turn this down.
Well, don't turn it down too far.
How about that? Is that okay?
It's okay for me. I hope. Has anybody got any comments out there? Is the audio okay for you, for everyone? Sometimes we can't always tell. But anyway.
Oh boy. Anyway, it would be really nice if certain people that put stuff out and get information and whatnot could have audio is okay. Hotty trotty.
Thank you. Thank you, Hotty Trotty.
Oh boy. It would be nice if ET would open up communications channels the correct, proper way. And so we could have some conversations. I would like to have conversations, and I can do it in my head, just like I'm talking now. Only I wouldn't be presenting information. I'd be asking questions. If
Oh, here, let me bring this up because I'm going to have to show this little video after this question, Drake. If there were secret executions that took place, but the public was allowed to believe that said people are still there, that would suck.
Yeah. Well, here's
So-
the thing. Here's the thing about clones. People don't know. If you kill or eliminate or otherwise disable the original, that would be the person that you're cloning. It could be Hillary Clinton or anybody. The memory capability of the clone is stopped at that point. They can no longer have your memories or access to them. All they've got is whatever they were given that they've already got in their head. Number two, if the clone is cut off too early and they don't have certain other information loaded into their head, their batteries go dead and they flop over.
We might be seeing that, huh?
Oh,
As the
hey.
energy- As the energies change and everything. Yeah. I have a little clip. It's only a minute long.
People are going to be amazed what they see.
Okay. This might be a little bit of a shocker if you don't mind.
Uh-oh.
I will share it. Okay. I'll share a screen. That's the only way I could figure out how to do it. So hang on. Let me see if I can find it. And I believe it's here, and it is here. And this is what I'm going to share. And I'm going to make it bigger. And I'm going to start it. Okay. Did you see in the background what was showing?
Yes. Have you got that song?
Oh,
Yeah.
do you mean
Yeah.
the one Resist?
You resist. Yeah, that's right. No shit.
Yeah, I can find it. Yeah, it's called Resist. We played it last time. Let me get a hold of it again. I really like that myself. It's very...
I like it because it's realistic. Now, I have made this request because there are a lot of people that need to hear this. In terms of resistance, I just laid out what my show was Saturday, part of it, in order to give you guys an idea as to what is coming. This says it.
This really says what needs to happen. So I'm going to share the screen on this one too. And then he is from Canada, the singer. And then I do have a little clip about the arson that's going on in Canada too, which is arson. So anyway, let me share the screen.
Okay.
And we'll play the song.
Cool.
Stick me with the needle yesterday. I could see it coming from a mile away. When every politician in the world is bought and paid to lie and play along with the charade. But from London to Australia and take it to the streets. We all know the traitors, we know all the names. When this game is over, man, we'll make the bastards pay. So resist, resist, come on, shake your fist. You are the resistance if you're listening to this. The writing's on the wall and your name is on the list. If we stand united, together we can fight it. So resist, resist, just resist. Let's go, Brandon, let's go, Brandon. If you're waiting for a miracle to come down from the sky, buddy, you can kiss it all goodbye. I'll say keys and numbers, it comes down to you and me. We hang together or they'll hang us separately. We got them outnumbered, we got called to spree. Stand up and be counted, and we'll have the victory. It's our hill to die on, get down off that fence. If our God be with us, tell me who could be against. So resist, resist, come on, shake your fist. You are the resistance if you're listening to this. The writing's on the wall and your name is on the list. If we stand united, together we can fight it. So resist, resist, rise up, shake your fist. They're coming up behind, you better watch your six. You got my attention, man, I'm starting to get pissed. I will not comply, God is on our side. So resist, yeah. So you wanna change the world, man, I know how you feel. Put a kink in their plan, put a spoke in their wheel. If you wanna move the needle, it's as easy as this. Don't do what they say, defy, disobey, and resist. Resist, resist, come on, shake your fist. You are the resistance if you're listening to this. The writing's on the wall and your name is on the list. If we stand united, together we can fight it. So resist, resist, rise up, shake your fist. They're coming up behind, you better watch your six. They're all on their minds now, they're coming for the kids. I spit in your eye, I will not comply. Resist, resist, just resist. Resist, just resist. Resist, resist. Resist.
Well, that says it all, doesn't it?
Oh, it do.
And that's what people need. That's what we need to do. Stand together and resist.
Well, my primary reason for putting that out as the beginning of my show, and then putting it on here, with your permission, of course, was to get people to understand that this is not some kind of fly-by-night, fluty horse manure thing. This is real. It's being the logistics of some of it is being put together as I speak by people other than myself. I ain't the only one. Oh, there's a bunch of us. Your vices so they don't drain your energy.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait a second. It says, gotta overcome your vices so they don't drain your energy so you can resist low energy states being hypnotizingly chill. Well, one of the reasons people get hypnotized is they watch TV, and that's a problem, especially if you're not aware of the mind control on the TV.
Well, my whole deal, the whole thing that I've been seeing, including what this person is saying here, is very simple. Nothing I know of will make these people bulletproof. And I'm in gun country. I live right in the middle of it. And let me tell you, there's a lot of hunting rifles up here.
Okay. Well, just to note how serious all this is and how it is an international problem. It's not just, I mean, it's going to continue to get worse here in the United States, whether people want to believe that or not, at least for a while. But also what's going on in Canada is absolutely appalling, and there has to be a reason for it. And you're even breathing the smoke. I have a little clip that I could show. It's about 5 minutes about Trudeau and the arson-driven wildfires in Canada. What a shame. All that beautiful, beautiful country burning for no reason. Hang on.
Yeah. It ain't playing yet. Uh-oh, there it is.
There it is. I like this guy.
During the most catastrophic forest fires in all of Canadian history, experienced local firefighters are being sidelined. Retired forestry technician Peter McIsaac put together an experienced team of firefighters, contacted the government, and offered to volunteer their support.
As things progressed last week and buildings were burning and people were being evacuated, I realized that Nova Scotia had a resource of retired technical staff that were experts at fighting fire. I called some of these guys up and I put together a crack team. On the first team I put together, we had close to 200 years of experience of fighting fires here in the Acadia region, and our own government passed over an opportunity to hire a team of professionals to come in and help them. Our team stayed on standby hoping that we'd get a call all week, and that call never came. So if you lost your house and fires remained out of control, when a politician looks you in the eye and says, we did everything we could, they're lying to your face.
While the government lets Canada burn, they blame climate change. But other than all the fires, nothing significant has changed. And the massive amount of wildfires just started a few years ago. So what happened? Over 90% of wildfires are caused by humans, and many of them are intentional, which is known as arson. During the surge of wildfires along the west coast of the United States a few years ago, several people were arrested for arson, including a 41-year-old man who admitted to starting 11 fires. Security cameras show people's houses being set on fire. A homeowner caught an arsonist dressed in all black, and a member of black-clad terrorist organization Antifa was arrested for arson in Washington state. Just months before the 2020 wildfires, Extinction Rebellion published a poster with a burning forest and the words, "Declare a climate emergency." And in Canada, in 2021, a woman was charged with 32 counts of arson connected to numerous wildfires in northeast Alberta. Last year in British Columbia, a 42-year-old woman was arrested and charged with 4 counts of arson. And this year, there is much more. In Alberta, the RCMP are searching for a suspect after a fire broke out in Grand Prairie. The suspected arsonist was reportedly wearing all black. The RCMP's Serious Crime Branch, the Forestry Crimes Unit, have been investigating multiple wildfires and arsons, and a 29-year-old man has been charged with 10 counts of arson. In Nova Scotia, the RCMP believe at least 3 of the fires in Pictou County were arson. Satellite imagery shows that on June 2nd, most of southeast Quebec went up in flames at the same time, which demonstrates a highly coordinated arson attack. Somewhere between Wyoming and California, 30 tons of ammonium nitrate reportedly disappeared from a train. Ammonium nitrate can be used as an explosive, and it can also be used as an accelerant. On its own, ammonium nitrate will not burn under a flame, but mix it with sawdust, and it quickly ignites and burns everything it can. And now the federal government of Canada is creating a special national disaster response agency, their very own FEMA. They create the problem, and your reaction demands that they provide a solution. Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese.
There we go.
Ought to set a few of them arsonists on fire. That'd maybe get the message across that we don't like that stuff.
I don't know why that
And
would.
they're looking at burning us up. Why don't we just, save them the problem and set them on fire first? It's pretty simple.
Yeah, terrible things are, there are operatives out there that what they call sleeper cells or whatever that, they can activate at any time to cause fires to do this type of thing.
Yeah.
Terrible. So, okay. And on that same token, I have a news here about, I think everybody knows by now that the whole January 6th thing was one great big lie. But there are 6 videos that show Capitol Police moving barricades, opening sets of locked doors, and waving Trump supporters in on January 6th. So all of this has been a big hoax by the Democrats to blame Trump supporters for something they didn't do.
Well, that's why Tucker Carlson got in so much trouble before I heard he left, but he may have got fired. I don't know. He wanted to show videos of all the people, one at a time, like he did for the guy that was the Viking with the horned hat. That guy got
yeah.
Because of the video that was shown, there was no violence in that. Well, the others are also there's a few that screwed up and destroyed property and a few other things. They should be prosecuted, not the way they're doing it. Sorry, doesn't work that way. Can't make up charges. It doesn't work. And
well, isn't
we're going to find that out pretty soon, huh?
Isn't Washington D.C. a city state? Isn't it a city state? Just like the Vatican, just like the what do you mean no?
It is its own entity. They don't have a name for it. How about that?
The District of Columbia?
What?
The District of Columbia is a foreign entity. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
well, the District of Columbia is just that and only that, a District of Columbia. The problem that ensues is that they've got about 4 or 5 of these around the world, and each one of them is an independent entity of its own design and whatever. It doesn't even have to abide by our laws if it don't want to. Of course, we'd be throwing people in the water if they acted too funny, but be that as it may. Uh-oh, she's figuring.
Let me see some. I'm just looking something up.
Oh boy.
Okay. Anyway.
Yes.
Moving right along. Couldn't find what I was looking for. There is one other thing, and that I've a couple of different things I could bring up. Did you hear about the Pentagon rejects Amazon and Microsoft contracts?
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Well, there were some things involved in that contract nobody wanted, and that means both sides. They didn't like some of the wording of the contract, and other people didn't like some of the content of the contract. Between the two of them, they said no. There's
something I'd like to bring up that people probably aren't aware of that I think is really important, and that is I got a picture here, and I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
I see one of a puppy dog.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about. It's basically many of these canine dogs that detect. They're used extensively in the deep underground bases where they're dealing with not only, child sex traffickers and Satanist rituals and all that crap, but they also, they're the first in. The dogs go in first.
Yeah.
And they warn, they can smell out, anywhere from drugs to humans to whatever, but they also do encounter negative ETs, which many people aren't aware of. But it's something that needs to be said.
Well, I heard a little scuttlebutt on that negative ETs.
Yeah.
Them dogs like to bite them, and the ETs don't know how to defend themselves against getting bit by the dog, and the dog just chomps them, it just eats them up.
And they don't know what to do.
No, they try to shoot them and they end up shooting each other. A lot of this is pretty comical, actually.
I guess a lot of it was to indicate that these dogs are heroes, really. I mean, we have animal heroes too. Even way back in years ago, when the war horses used to be heroes too. So our animals are there helping us in many ways, and are the first ones, like I said, in the downs and tunnels. So just out of interest, the best border canines are German Shepherds. The smartest are Border Collies. The best breed at airports are Beagles and Beagle mixes. And the best explosive detection are Labradors and Golden Retrievers.
Yep.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And they say that pups can detect anything from drugs, bloods, explosives, body parts, and they also give moral support to the children that they have rescued. And all of them, including the soldiers, go to med beds after dealing with things that are very hard to deal with. So you have something? Okay. Did you know that I have someone that likes to drink? They used to like to drink Bud Light. Well, they stopped drinking Bud Light. Now they drink Coors Light. I don't drink beer because I don't like beer. But yeah. Anheuser-Busch owns them all anyway. So
are they selling very good? And
not Bud Light. They really took a heavy hit, and Target's going to take a heavy hit too for what they're doing. But that's that. Do we have any other questions from the audience?
Everybody quit putting questions in there, so
I guess we showed them too much, huh? All right. Well, I have a few other things, but we can call this a wrap. And
let's call it a wrap.
And carry on another time. As more things happen, we'll have more information available. So
That's right. Now, hey, I want to tell you something, and this is an offer for me. I've got a 24/7 website that allows me to have access to things. To go along with that, my blog talk is not limited to just one show a week. I can do as many shows as I want, whenever I want, as long as the time slot's open. So if you want to do a special show, we can really blast their minds.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Well, yeah, I'm making an offer to you.
All right.
Okay.
Well, information is coming out exponentially. So, yeah, we always got something to talk about these days, don't we?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Are we in a hologram or a matrix?
Okay, let's put that up there. Are we in a hologram or matrix? Also, do you believe this is a school or a prison planet? Thanks.
Oh, my goodness. The hologram matrix is a combination. All right. And it varies at different levels. You might have a matrix up here, a hologram up here. You don't know. School or prison planet. It's a combination. It's becoming more and more of a school as more people become enlightened and listen to certain shows like this crazy show that we got going here. The planet has been cordoned off by ET. Nobody's getting in. They tried a few times, and they end up burning up. So they're not. I doubt if they'll try again. But that's where we're at right now. Okay.
Okay, I do have one little clip I'd still like to play before we go. I just noticed it. I forgot about it. Is that okay? It's 5 minutes.
Stick it in there.
And that'll be the end of the show. This man needs our support because of what he's doing, and you will know him as soon as you see him. So let me bring this on. Here it is. Let me take this to the beginning, and here we go.
Mel Gibson is living in fear for his life after vowing to expose an elite paedophile ring operating at the heart of the Hollywood system. According to Gibson, Hollywood elites have already tried to cancel him, silence him, and destroy his career, none of which worked because we, the people, understand that he's telling the truth. Mel Gibson enraged the establishment in 2017 by going on the record and denouncing Hollywood as a den of parasites who feed on the blood of kids. The mainstream media quickly pounced on Gibson's revelations, deployed fact-checkers including Snopes to declare the comments fake news, and proceeded to delete every video and article from the internet. Orwell warned us that in the future, the elites would memory hole inconvenient information, and that's exactly what the elites did with Gibson's revelations about Hollywood. In short, Mel Gibson's voice was silenced. Now, 6 years later, Mel Gibson has now declared that he has nothing left to lose, and he is determined to play his part in eradicating the evil of elite paedophilia and child trafficking, regardless of the personal consequences. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the Rumble button to support the channel, and join the People's Voice Locals community for exclusive and uncensored content. The link is below this video. Sound of Freedom tells the story of Tim Ballard, a former CIA operative who quits his job as a special agent with Homeland Security investigations. Early reports indicate that the film exposes VIP pedophilia and child trafficking. Tim Ballard recently told a crowd at the Utah Eagle Forum 2023 annual convention that the 4-part docuseries, executive produced by Tony Robbins, was nearing completion. He also revealed that Gibson had dedicated his life to saving children from elite pedophiles.
Got a phone call from Mel Gibson. He actually did the final edit of The Sound of Freedom. That's how we know each other, but not well enough that I'd be getting phone calls. And he told me that he was in Budapest at the time. This was right hours after the invasion, and he said he supports a bunch of orphans in Ukraine, and he was worried about them, and he asked if I could help get them out. So now I've got 12 from my wife, I got 13 others from Mel Gibson, and I'm thinking, okay, I got this list of kids I got to get out. I told Mel, I said, you got to help me. This is going to be expensive. I won't ask you for direct donation, but can you help me film this? Let's film what's happening so we can get people to understand and they can support us. He said, no problem. He helped us get set up and started filming. 4 months later, what I thought was going to be maybe a documentary about Ukraine ends up being a 4-part docuseries that's almost done. It's being produced by DNA Films and executive produced by Tony Robbins. That's how crazy it got and how prophetic my wife was. When I showed up in Ukraine with a list of, I think, 20 names, the Ukrainians countered me and gave me over 10,000 names of orphans that they didn't know where they were because of the chaos caused by war. And more importantly, and more frightening to me, was the fact that I know that human trafficking is a $32 billion a year business. It's the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world, and I also know how kids get forced into that market. And it's through vulnerable situations like in the aftermath of a hurricane, mostly in a developed country, or an earthquake, or in this case, a war. And so the traffickers call it harvest time. And that was the intel we were getting. And so we weren't just there to extract those kids, but look for leads. And it really was a miracle what happened. It's one of these things that, faith precedes the miracle. I take a lot of comfort in the fact that there's only one time in the scripture where Jesus gets mafioso. It's righteous because it's Jesus doing it. But if you listen to his words, it's mafioso. He says that it would be better for you to have a millstone cast about your neck and you thrown to the bottom of the sea than that you would hurt one of these little ones, my children. That's mafioso action, sinking someone to the bottom of the ocean. And Jesus said it. So I know where he stands on it. So I can expect, and we can expect, miracles when we're fighting to protect children.
The mainstream media are terrified of Gibson's new role, and now they are doing everything they can to mislead the masses. According to fact checkers, Mel Gibson isn't involved in The Sound of Freedom at all. They are even claiming that he has denied his involvement through an unnamed anonymous source, of course. Why are they lying so blatantly about Gibson's role in The Sound of Freedom? Because they are terrified of what he's going to expose. According to Gibson, they are running cover for the dark forces who are determined to silence him. They are so determined to silence him and suppress the film, they don't want the mainstream audience to have any idea that the film exists at all. After this quick break, we will look at why the elite are so terrified by Gibson's new direction and the content of this film. And believe me, the elite have every reason to be afraid. But first, an important word from our sponsor.
Well,
I know I should eat healthier.
Very interesting.
okay.
You want something that goes right along with
I had to shut that off. Okay.
you want something that goes right along with all of this?
What's that?
Okay, I used to subscribe a long time ago. Got turned on to a thing called Weather Wars. There's a website and it told what was going on in the way of weather and how it was being controlled and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Why do you think that we have dry spots in the United States when springtime is already coming? Well, you get the idea. Why do you think there's floods in certain areas, certain countries? That's Weather Wars. I'm going to get with ET in the next few days, and we're going to go hunting some of these weather control devices and see how they like it when we cause the internal power supply to go ballistic. Ooh. So if you see fishing vessels all of a sudden pop out of the water with a big flame coming out of their bottom end and they just keep on going, well, now you know what happened. These things will melt through armor plating that you find on any kind of a ship known, period. In terms of land base, we know where they're at. We know where you're at on the ocean, and we can find you no matter what you do. So sometime in the near future, me and the ETs will go visiting, and the weather will go squarely just for a day or two, and then we'll be done with it. Okay?
Sounds like a plan.
Oh, I'm planning.
Well, this is what we need. People need to get active, need to get involved. We need everybody on board. We need to stand together. We need to stand up for our rights because, like I said earlier, the entire planet is at stake. We cannot lose. It's not an option. And everybody already says we already won and all that, and then everybody sits back and thinks they don't have to participate. That is just not the way it is.
If we don't do it, who is?
Exactly.
Don't do it. Like that
And
song says.
you have God on your side. You have Source on your side. So, what are you afraid of?
Well,
Anyway.
okay.
All right. Well, that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much, Drake.
You're
And
very welcome, as always.
please like and share and hit the notification button. I think it is. I don't say these things like everybody else does. And you need to do that. It's amazing that I had 10,000 people on YouTube, and now on Rumble, I only have not just about 3,000 at the moment, not even quite.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, please subscribe to my
They'll catch
Rumble
up.
channel. And
They'll catch up.
please do. And this is listener supported, and please help if you can. I really appreciate that. So let me just put one last caption up, and then we're going to go. A very easy way. Not ticker. We don't want ticker. We want.
Well, I got to go.
We're going
Okay.
right now. Okay. Let me play the final thing, and thank you very much, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
If we got a special show, you let me know. Bye,
I sure
y'all.
will. Bye, everyone.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers. Stronger than ever, never say never. Don't look back now, don't look back now. Rise up, stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, fighting our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize the moment. Hold on tight and don't let go of all your hopes and dreams that light the way. We control our fate. Destiny awaits. We are all the actors in the stories we create. Hope will be our guide. We'll no longer hide. When we roll like thunder, feel the wonder from inside. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are